Welcome all again. In this session, we will be discussing the anatomical feature of the pinus, that is the internal structure of the pinus. To begin with, we have in front of us the image of the transverse section of the young root of the pinus, which shows the outermost layer, which is a bit thick in nature, that is thick walled epiblema with many root hairs extending out. Inner to the epiblema, we have the cortex region made out of parenchymatous cells. So inner to the epiblema, we have this parenchymatous cells region called as cortex. Inner to the cortex, we have this endodermis. Inner to the endodermis, there is a presence of pericycle, and inner to pericycle, what is present is vascular bundle, usually arranged in a radial manner. With an exarch condition. Exarch is related to xylem, that is arrangement of the protoxylem as well as metaxylem. When the protoxylem are towards the periphery and the metaxylem towards the center, such condition is called as an exarch. This is not clear in this image, so we can go for this one. So vascular bundles are arranged radially, and metaxylem towards the center, protoxylem towards the periphery. This condition is called as an exarch. Now this protoxylem is going to bifurcate. It is going to appear somewhat like this. This protoxylem is going to bifurcate and form a Y-shaped structure. At the center of this Y shape, it is going to have a canal. This canal is called as a resin canal. So we can make out here these are the resin canal. Now what is the function of the resin canal? These canal are going to secrete what is called as a resin in them. They are going to secrete resin in them. Now what is the function of this resin? It is going to act as a defensive against whom all, one who is going to, as it is a tree, it is to be fed by someone, that is insects as well as some herbivores. When the resin is created in these canals, this resin is going to act as a defensive against insect and other animals, leading to some distastefulness. So the herbivore, when they are going to feed on this plant, they will be having some metabolic disorder and feeling like indigestion and all. This feeling of the indigestion or metabolic disorder is because of these resin secreted in the resin canal. So it is a defensive in nature. Now phloem is present alternate, and this is the phloem. Phloem is present alternate to the xylem. So this is the arrangement of the vascular bundle. Pith, if present, it is very poorly developed or it is absent. So this was a description regarding the young root of the pinus. This is the transverse section of older root of the pinus showing secondary growth. Speaking about the secondary growth, we have a descripted video forwarded when we dealt with cycles. So the same kind of an secondary growth is seen here. So no more explanation is required. Only thing is that some extra new cells called as stone cells followed by medullary rays, we are going to speak on that. Now to begin with the old root showing secondary growth, on the outer side are present a few layers of cork. Are present. These are formed by the meristematic activity of cork cambium. What is cork cambium followed by secondary cortex? You are going to have a clear idea when you are going to watch that secondary development or secondary growth video. So on the outer side are present a few layers of the cork, which are the result formed by the meristematic activity of the cork cambium. Cork cambium is going to produce a secondary cortex on the inner side. Now many resin canals and stone cells are present in this secondary cortex. So this will be the secondary cortex. Many resin canals we can make out here. Resin canals and stone cells are present. We have seen what resin canals are. Now speaking about the stone cells, these are the non-living cells. These cells are going to lose its protoplast at maturity. So these are the non-living cells. The primary function of these is to provide strength or support to the soft tissue, mechanical strength or support to the soft tissue. That is the main function. And these are formed because of the deposition of lignin on the parenchymal cells. Nothing but a kind of sclerenchymal cells only, deposition of the lignin and all. So the stone cells main function is to provide mechanical strength or a support to the soft tissue. Now below the this one, so many resins and stone cells are done. Now below the phloem, patches develops. That is a cambium which is going to cut the secondary phloem towards the outside and the secondary xylem towards the inside. That is development of secondary phloem as well as secondary xylem takes place. Secondary phloem will be outside, whereas secondary xylem will be inside of the cambium. And primary phloem is usually present in a very small form. That is the reason we are going to call it as a crushed. As the development of the secondary phloem begins, the primary one appears like as though it is crushed one. And many medullary rays will be present. Can you see these single layer uniseriate ribbon-like sheets, ribbon-like rays? These are called as medullary rays. Now these sheets or ribbon of cells, they are running from inside of the plant to the outside. They run right angle to the xylem as well as to the phloem. What's the main function? They are going to carry the nutrients towards the surface of the tree. If apart from that nutrients, they are going to carry chemicals which fight against the invasion by the insects and fungi. So they are going to carry the nutrients, they are going to carry the chemicals which are going to fight against the fungi and other insects. Apart from that, any damage in the area, so any damage occurs to the tree, that damage is like what? It is open area which is going to invite n number of pathogens. It is to be like covered, or it is to be blocked. When any wound occurs on our skin and any part of the body, we are going to cover it with bandage, yes or no, just in order to prevent the further invasion of any other pathogens. The same function is done by these medullary rays. They are going to cover that damaged area. How? By deposition of tannin and resins which block that damaged area. This process is called as Tylose, which process? That is blocking the damaged area by deposition of tannins and resins. This prime important function is done by these medullary rays. And the xylem is same as this in young roots. It is going to form a bifurcated structure, that is a Y-shaped structure where we can see these resin canals. So this was a description regarding the old root and the young root of the pinus. Thank you.